Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln. Coming at you live from the Coppels Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Jake Bakoven.
We are live. Happy Monday to everybody out there. This is the Ticket Water Cooler brought to you by Culligan Water. I'm Jake Bakoven, and we are pleased to bring in a new co-host for our show and producer for On the Block as well. Coming up here around the corner, Nathan Brennan.
Yes, sir.
You might know him from 10-11. You might see him on TV from time to time.
The mic now.
Yeah, you can still see him on TV. Don't worry. We didn't steal him. He's just going to jump in and give us some sports opinions, too, help us out and with our Virginia Tech knowledge specifically because he's a Virginia Tech alum. But, yeah, without me talking too much about you, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
What's going on, everyone? Nathan Brennan. Again, you probably recognize me. Morning show on 10-11 News. I actually did start in radio, though. I know I told you, but I'll go ahead and tell the listeners. I'm not new to this, so I'll try not to make too much of a fool out of myself, but I have done this a time or two. But it was in Blacksburg, like you said. I am a Hokie, come from the land of Hokies, Virginia Tech. So I won't bring up the 2009-2010 home and home too much. The Tyrod Taylor era, but that's when Nebraska, I believe, had Rex Burkhead at the time. So
we would have been, we'd love to go back to those days, even if it meant a loss.
I mean, the Hokies are the same way too. Yeah.
I suppose.
But yeah, so it's good to get back behind the mic. I mean, I haven't done it in about a year or so, but so I'll still be on 10-11. Still see me in the mornings if you're listening right now and you do watch the morning show. I'll still be there, but got to give some sports insight because a lot of that is more news, but a little bit some hot takes maybe. I think it'll be cool too because I was talking to you, Bach, that I have a little bit more of an outside perspective, so I might not be as level-headed. I might be a little bit trigger-happy on some things when it comes to Husker athletics, but I think you'll be able to hone it back in, bring everything back in. But I'm excited, man. It's fun. I've been in Lincoln about a year now, so still getting familiar with the city, getting familiar with the people. It's been a blast, but I'll say the one thing is when you come to Lincoln, it's much similar to Blacksburg, is you just get ingrained in the culture, ingrained in Huskers football, basketball, volleyball. It's like when I came here, I said, okay, so it's a volleyball school now, but it's been great. So I've been following Husker athletics, so might get an outside perspective, but I'm excited to get going. So thanks for having me. Like you said, I'll be producing for the 4 to 6 o'clock show as well. So you might see me a little bit here and there, but definitely ready to get going.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. And like you said, I mean, differing opinions and hot takes.
Absolutely.
That's what we're all about here. So we'll get it rolling. And you're joining us at an interesting time here in Husker athletics, I suppose, specifically for the basketball team. Northwestern, an 87-63 stomping of Nebraska. And it really wasn't even that close this past Saturday, dropping the Husker basketball program now to 0-12 in conference play, 6-17 overall. Obviously not where you want to be as a Nebraska fan. More importantly is the 3-year numbers are starting to add up. Of course, this is the third year for Coach Hoiberg. He's now under 10%, more than 50 games deep in winning games in the Big Ten. And so it's kind of getting to that point. And I said this a few losses ago, but it remains the same. Add a few more losses on it, is what Trev Alberts said when talking about Scott Frost. And so often these programs get compared, and maybe it's not fair, but if you're a Nebraska fan, it bleeds right into the next. I mean, the disappointment, the expectation from the initial hire, home run hires not working out. And now we're at the point pretty much with basketball that we were with football, where Trev Alberts had to come out and say, there's no statistical reason when you look at the history that this record we can point to and say, hey, this record will turn over. You just got to believe. And that's where you are with Nebraska basketball now. And I think that it's kind of getting hard for a lot of us to believe out there. So 87-63, again, the loss to Northwestern, stunning, and that Nebraska had played the top half of the Big Ten. Somewhat close at times throughout getting to 0-11, which is nothing to be too proud of, but at least it was there. So when you got the opportunity to take on a Northwestern team that is year in and year out one of the bottom 4 teams in the Big Ten, and once again that way in the standings, you figured, okay, they got this boo-booey guy, he's one of the best point guards in the league, but other than that, we can kind of hold him down. and keep this game. And maybe this is the one you can get over the edge on. It needs to be. You need to start protecting home court. You need to get off the schneid, all that stuff. And Northwestern at one point hit 7 of 8 threes in the first half, bearing the Huskers. And the Huskers, obviously, as we know, not a very good shooting team to begin with. So getting behind early was not going to help Nebraska. So, I mean, so this game, usually we do the post-game show. We break it down. Okay, here's these slight numbers that could have been better here. Here's the rebounding disadvantage this game as opposed to last game, and they need to make improvements here. In a blowout like that, you kind of just get to the bigger picture discussion, and that's kind of what we I think a lot of people had this weekend is, what do you do with Hoiberg? What do you do with the $18.5 million buyout if it is there? But I thought that we actually was piggybacking off of some tweets from Jake Sorensen. You jumped in the middle of too and got some interesting feedback. I think your point more so than should Nebraska retain Hoiberg is who would be attainable if they did decide to let him go.
Right. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? I mean, Jake sent out the tweet. I have it right here. I don't think Hoiberg can finish out the season or be allowed to. So here's my biggest thing, and this is obviously from an outside perspective. I know that you've followed Husker basketball a lot closer than I have, so you probably know a little bit more about the history. But from what I know about Nebraska basketball, I've been to the tournament a handful of times, never won a tournament game.
Yeah.
So you look at someone like Fred Hoiberg. When he was at Iowa State, 28-8 in 2013, 2014, 25-9 when he was at Ohio State, 2014, 2015, went to the Sweet 16 in 2014. So he's obviously had success at the college level. I mean, that's without question. Goes to the NBA, struggles a little bit, obviously, comes to Nebraska. So when you look at the state of the Nebraska basketball program, right, I just have a tough time believing that you're going to be able to get someone in that has maybe the thing is, do you call it prestige with Fred Hoiberg? I mean, what are we describing Fred Hoiberg as, right? Like, obviously you're not seeing the results on the court, and I'm not sure that it's a quick fix. That was my biggest argument with Jake, is that you're at the state of the program right now is you bring in whoever it may be. You could bring in Coach K right now, and by all means, that's not going to change the state of the program. So I think the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't. You know what you're getting with Fred Hoiberg. You know that for the most part, he wants to be here, or else he probably wouldn't have made the decision to leave Iowa State, go to the NBA, and come to Lincoln to begin with. So what's your solution, right?
All right.
I mean, that's what I can ask you, is that if you're leaving Fred Hoiberg and you're paying him this $18 million, you're dipping into this athletic fund. You're taking $18 million. Okay, so you wipe your hands. You say, okay, we're starting from scratch. Where do you go from there that you can realistically say, okay, in the next 2, 3, 4 seasons, anything's going to look any different? Because that's the question. If you're a Husker fan, you got to be asking yourself is, if you're moving on from Fred Hoiberg, you're paying a substantial amount of money, whoever you put in that place has to make an immediate impact. And I know this season is obviously an enigma because you're 0-12 in the Big Ten. And by all indications, you might not win a conference game the way that the rest of the season is going to play out. Where do you go, right?
Right.
What's your solution?
Yeah, I mean, because you run through that is that, obviously Hoiberg was a huge home run hire at the time, like you said, well known in basketball circles. I mean, it just kind of it's not just a Nebraska thing. Around the nation, people going, "Oh, that's a good grab for the Huskers there in Lincoln." From here, I think that's the problem more so than just in just looking at it. If you take a step back and look at it, is that I think that this does not reflect well on Nebraska basketball. And there has been some ideas. The column from the Omaha World Herald floated out that maybe Fred Hoiberg's just, that his time has passed as far as being effective in college.
Right.
That could be a belief there. But the problem that I would see having is, how are you going to get the next home run hire, right? First of all, you've already you spent a lot of money.
Are you going to do it again?
Yeah. Are you going to throw out a whole
right?
lot of stacks of cash to get another home run hire? Or do you want to go cheap again and get an up and coming, mid-level coach? Go back to that route, which is kind of historically what Nebraska has had to do, to the levels of success that people aren't excited about, right? I mean, to where we are here, never having won a tournament game, kind of shuffling through those guys. Of course, Danny Nee worked in the 90s, but it's been a while, so that's the problem. I think that Hoiberg failing, and not just failing, but failing miserably. And if you let him go, I don't think that reflects all the way poorly on Hoiberg as much as it does Nebraska, which is kind of silly and insane and all that stuff. But, Nebraska's got the fan base. They have the one of the better buildings to play in the Big Ten. The Hendricks is phenomenal. You hear, we have coaches and GMs stop in Lincoln and just compliment, compare it to pro facilities. So, I mean, they've invested the money. and they've done the same thing with Hoiberg. Right. It just hasn't turned around. So it's kind of where do you go from here? What's your solution? Past Hoiberg not working. And that's, I don't think anybody has a great answer for that, but I know the people that want Hoiberg out would say anything is better than this. Right. And that's about, because for a lot of people, it's and for me, I was going to bring this up later too. I think I'm out of the category of I think that Hoiberg is going to work at Nebraska. I'm no Nostradamus, but I think at this point, I wouldn't probably bet that he'd be here 2 to 3 years from now, right?
But that's the question is, I'll ask you that. So your timeline, you're saying, okay, Fred Hoiberg is going to be out. What's your timeline and what's your realistic expectations? Because I think right now, when you look at the state of the program, obviously you're not going to be looking to make the NIT. You're not going to be looking to make the tournament anytime soon. And also when you get rid of Hoiberg, you're going to lose recruiting. Because at the end of the day is when you have a name like Fred Hoiberg, especially a program like Nebraska, who's normally in the bottom of the Big Ten, he might be able to get some of the recruits. We have NIL here. Lincoln is a great town. They support their teams, like you said.
Yeah.
But recruiting's going to take a dip. And then what's your timeline? So you're saying in the next 3 years, your goal is the NIT. The next 5 years, your goal is making the tournament. You have to lay out these realistic expectations if you're going to make a move like that. So I'll ask you that. What are your realistic expectations if and / when they move on from Fred Hoiberg? Because that's going to be the question,
that's
right?
The problem.
That's what you have to be asking yourself.
You have to have some sort of connection, somebody up and coming, and that was nice with Frost, right? Is that okay? There's the obvious guy. There's no obvious hire for Nebraska. Right. Unless Teron Lue gets canned from the Clippers.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. And even then, I think he still would have enough of a name in the NBA to probably get another job. And I know that's what he first and foremost wants to do. And I did have some interest. It was reported, at least with the last Nebraska opening when they did go with Hoiberg. So maybe there's something there. And maybe that's the long-term hope, I suppose. But that's no sure thing. It's far from it. Especially with him being a Clippers head coach, there's no way to step down from that position to where Nebraska is now. So you're right. You're absolutely right. There's no clear plan to move on to the next guy. You wonder if they would, and all of it's a lot more difficult when you don't have the budgeting in front of you, right?
You don't buyout too,
right?
That's going to go into the discussion.
So how much? Yeah, how much are they going to have to throw at a new potential coach, or do they want to stay cheap, take a a low level hire and make him prove it before they pay him, that sort of thing. Right. I think some people would like to see that again. For me, again, it's Nebraska basketball. It's been frustrating. Growing up, other than the late '90s. Which I was 9-10 years old at that time. I haven't seen a whole lot of success here. So this was the push. This is similar to Frost. This was the big move.
This was the home run hire.
This is the home run hire. This made sense. Finally, Nebraska basketball was going to mean something. And with both of them, it's not that it's just didn't quite work out. It's that they're flaming, down to the very bottom of all-time historic lows that you just could not possibly see coming. So it's a lot, and it's not there, right? The university has not said anything. There's no indication to believe that it's over at this point. But you saw after that Northwestern win. That's the Northwestern loss. That is the type of loss that separates, itself from some of the others throughout the season as being potentially the worst, right? Especially when you consider the quality of opponent, the timeliness of it, the need,
at home.
Yep. The just the lack of competitiveness against a not a very good team. Like you said, at home, at some point you have at least protect home court. So that was the discussion this week, and so that's what we're continuing here right now on the Ticket Water Cooler. This is brought to you by Culligan Water, the official water cooler of 93.7. The Ticket. Call today at 402-251-2309 or go online to CulliganLincoln.com. If you are just joining us here, Nathan Brennan is the new voice to join me here, co-host of the Ticket Water Cooler. This is permanent, so we'll also get to know him here in a few minutes with a little bit of 21 questions that we'll get get through. But first, we are going to continue this discussion here with Hoiberg. And I guess from what you saw from your kind of your response over the weekend, bringing that idea to Twitter for Nebraska, what were some of the ideas that people had laid out to you?
Well, first I want to shout out Gus. He says goals 21 season, 500 league record. I think that's an ambitious goal. I think it's going to take time to do that. I think that's a good goal. The general consensus, I mean, it was honestly pretty split. I mean, the question that I said to Jake was, who wants to coach in Nebraska that would be a better coach? Because at the end of the day, you also have to look at the state of the program. Who wants to coach at Nebraska? Because that's a big part of it. Is when Fred Hoiberg came to Nebraska, by all indications, he wanted the job. He believed that he was going to be the guy to turn the program around. And I mean, so Chip says it blows my mind how people who want Fred Hoiberg gone think a new coach will make a difference in the NIL era. I agreed with that. I mean, you got to think you're competing in the Big Ten, right? So you have schools like Indiana, Ohio State, Michigan State, who they're going to empty their pockets for their basketball program. At the end of the day, Nebraska is probably not going to do that. But then you say, funny to ask, Taylor says, funny to ask that when every coach we have had in recent memory has been better. And that was kind of the argument that you were making too. At the same time, it's like, you've seen success. Tim Miles went to the NIT, I believe, the last 2 seasons before he ended up leaving Lincoln. So there's been success. Literally every D1 coach in the country could do better than Hoiberg is doing right now. Then some people, and then the best one was, haha, this guy's from Virginia Tech. What does he know about anything about Nebraska basketball? But I don't think it takes an insider to watch what's happening.
Right.
And it doesn't take an insider to know that, like you said earlier, I mean, you look throughout the country. I don't think there was anyone on any type of platform that was saying it wasn't a good hire.
Right.
There was no one that was saying, I mean, it was a home run hire. Nebraska basketball might turn it around. And now that's just been my argument this whole time, right? It's not that Hoiberg is meeting expectations. It's not that Hoiberg is doing a good job. It's not that Nebraska needs to be a defeated team in the Big Ten. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you're making a move like this and you're paying $18 million, which is what we said is the buyout, you have to know for certain that the next hire that you're getting is going to be better. And at this point in time, I just don't see it. And okay, you can make the argument that anyone would be better at this point in time, but how does that propel your program forward, right? I mean, how is that changing?
You don't want to take anyone.
That's the thing. Is like you just take anyone, and then it's just a constant revolving door. And at some time, you have to end that revolving door, and you just have to say, "This is our guy. This is what we're going to stick with." So, I think the most frustrating part, like you mentioned too, is there isn't really a fix. Like, where do you go from here that is going to be better than Fred Hoiberg? And what's your timeline? It's just, there's so many questions. And I think for a lot of Huskers fans, that's the most frustrating part, right? Is we come from football season where the team is right there. The team goes 3-9. The first team in NCAA history to go 0-9 in 1-score games. You go to the basketball program. You go to the basketball side. I'm pretty sure it was a preseason game against Colorado. They win.
Oh, yeah.
Tamanaga looks good.
McGowan's
is going to be the best freshman in the Big Ten. And it's just, they have not reached those expectations. And it's just so frustrating because, again, where do you go from here? And the worst part about it is, like, we can talk about this for weeks, right? I mean, we can talk about this throughout the rest of the season. We can talk about the off season, and that's the thing, we will. But there's no solution, and I don't know if there's going to be one anytime soon.
Well, and a good point is made off the text line from Gene. It says potentially infinite resources here, premier facilities, plays in the Big Ten Conference. Who wouldn't want to coach here? I mean, so there are still things that you could sell for a coach, but you're not selling them to somebody at Hoiberg's level.
No,
that's the point.
No, exactly.
Is you're taking a step. You could, you could get again with the Tim Miles example. You get the Colorado State head coach or somebody that's up and coming. But you're not getting somebody at Hoiberg's level. And again, and Hoiberg might have dropped, a level. He certainly has. He's dropped the level since coming to Nebraska. He's not as hot on the open market if he does go there as well. And that's another interesting, potentially, factor in all of this is. And I don't want to question this because it maybe would present some doubt to people's minds, I suppose. But how much does Hoiberg want to do this? Because I think part of it is the discussion is going to be, listen, coach, this isn't it. Similar to Frost, similar to Harbaugh. Can we restructure your contract? Can we, this is just not what we signed up for. Is he going to give some leeway there? I think that could certainly buy some time for him. And they're going to have to win some games too. I mean, part of this is not just, okay, let's make the decision mid-season right now. He's gone. That wouldn't make any sense.
No.
So there's nothing happening this week that's going to have the long-term we're going to figure out what's going to happen with this coaching situation. But I think that it would be nice if he has some flexibility in him to kind of restructure his contract after the season. I think there's certainly similar to Frost again, a shuffle up on the staff will probably be needed. Something to sell tickets again, because Saturday, I mean, that was a nice day outside. That's usually when Pinnacle Bank Arena fills up. The belief was, I mean, it was Legends Week and all that. Different uniforms, just everything they could do. But what you can't do is erase 0-11 in conference play and
get smoked in the process.
And then get smoked, and then everybody's leaving at halftime. It's just a fascinating situation that we'll continue to talk about. A lot of people too looking back in time and thinking how great Tim Miles was.
And I think that's the funniest thing that I've seen about Nebraska fans too. Because with the same thing with the football season, it's like, love to have Bo Pelini right now.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, I mean, like, right? I mean, you have these expectations. You move someone out like a Bo Pelini, like a Tim Miles, and then you're stuck in this situation. And then where do you go?
Yeah,
you're stuck. I mean, because that's the thing, is the state of the program right now. I think the best way to describe it is you're stuck. No matter what decision you do, you move on from Hoiberg, you pay the $18 million, you bring in a group of 5 coach, presumably, and then see what happens. Okay, say you keep Hoiberg, and then he keeps tanking to see. I mean, you're stuck. There's no correct answer to this.
Yeah, and then the other part of it too is Trev. I mean, Trev's rather renewed to the AD position. Yeah. Wouldn't you rather have him rubbing elbows, figuring out, making connections for more than, less than a year on the job before he has to make a huge hire in one of his 2 major sports? That would be preferred, but the results on the field and on the court so far have not given him that luxury. So he's going to have some decisions to make, like he did on the football field. We're going to take a quick break here on the Ticket Water Cooler. When we come back, we will get to know a little bit better our new co-host, Nathan Brennan. Don't worry, we'll talk plenty more sports. It's 21 questions, mostly about sports, but we'll talk about a little bit else as well. I know did you get to a lot when you were co-hosting or in Blacksburg? Did you get a lot of the Talk Sports crowd?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Absolutely.
So that's coming up next here on the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Culligan Water. Don't go anywhere.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York, so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SEC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
March is Problem Gambling Awareness. March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 or go to choicestreatmentcenter.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey Culligan, yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No, I mean they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High-Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way. Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Culligan Water. I want to remind you guys, too, it's important to mention this. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to partner with Culligan of Lincoln at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show. That'll be February 11th through the 13th, getting you right up for your, get right up there against the impending holiday, Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll ask you a little bit about your Valentine's Day plans here in a second. But it will be at the Lancaster Event Center. We'll be setting up a Culligan's booth and doing our shows from Friday 3 to 6. That means that includes the water cooler, this show right here. The Home and Garden Show hours, by the way, Friday 1 to 9 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission is just $8 for adults, $7 with a non-perishable, non-expired food item for the Lincoln Food Bank of Lincoln, and free admission for children 12 and under. So we hope to see you guys out there this coming up this Friday and this weekend. So as we get into this a little bit more, we've talked a little bit about the Nebraska basketball state of the program, basically, and what to do with the mess that is the coaching situation that you have right now and the buyout and all that stuff. We'll jump away for that for a second. Trust me, it is a topic we will jump back to throughout the day. Plenty on the block because we want to get Strick's opinion as well with all that stuff. But first, I mean, we got to know Nathan Brennan a little bit more. Our new co-host, he's going to be around every day as long as we don't scare him out of here. I think he should be around here every day. So we got to get to know him a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, so far we know him mostly for his Virginia Tech.
Go Hokies.
Yeah, Virginia Tech support. So first of all, let me ask you, how pumped are you for Brent Pry?
Very excited.
New Hokies coach,
very excited. It was very similar. I don't even know if I want to compare it to Scott Frost because that situation is just so odd. But Justin Fuente, the coach of Virginia Tech, replacing Frank Beamer, longtime coach of Virginia Tech. One of the greatest college football coaches of all time, Justin Fuente, coming from Memphis, basically tore the program to the dirt. So
I was excited. I thought that was going to be a home run hire too.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone did. I mean, he was kind of the group of five guy coming out of Memphis that everyone was like, okay, this is the home run hire. The Hokies will be back, but not so much. I mean, you guys probably know just about as much Brent Pry than I do. I mean, coming from Penn State, I mean, you guys have seen him in the Big Ten, obviously. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I mean, but the problem with the Virginia Tech, I mean, it's such a comparable program to Nebraska, right? I mean, you look at the late 90s, into the 2000s. I mean, you're a well-oiled machine, and then you just have schools like Alabama, Ohio State, they take over, and then you just have these programs that are just left in the dust. So hopefully NIL can bring it back, but definitely looking for my Hokies to turn it around. I think Brent Pry is the answer.
Yeah, it's kind of fun as you go throughout college football and in the years. You kind of, for the most part, there are programs that can get over it. The Miamis of the 80s, the LSUs of the modern day, where you just, it's kind of the place that is special beyond anything. But usually it's the coach. And Frank Beamer was certainly a good representation of that. Taking that program, you talk about taking over a program that didn't have anything to it. I think he went winless one of the first few years there. Eventually, got them right up in the national championship game with Michael Vick and just over the ACC from the Big East. So and originally, I think when he started, they're independent. So I mean, he really brought that program up. So at least more than anything, we can at least all be Frank Beamer fans.
Kelsey, you're killing me. Frank Beamer, not one of the greatest.
Whoa,
of all time.
hey, okay. I thought I said we all.
It's my first day. What's up with the Hokie slander already? Come on. We can wait till the season starts.
He is one of the greatest of all time. I suppose if you're doing a list of never to have won a national championship,
he'd be at the top.
Frank
of the
Beamer
list.
would be right there with Bill Snyder, I think. As the top, because again, for both of them, just absolute program builders.
Right.
Had to bury them or build them from nothing. But let's get into a little bit more questions so we can better know Nathan here. Let's go with your favorite Hokie of all time.
Ooh, football?
Either way, any Hokie.
Oh my goodness. David Wilson.
David Wilson.
He was. That was kind of the area when it was Marcus Vick took the place of Michael. I mean, obviously it didn't work out how we wanted it to. David Wilson, first round draft pick for the Giants, and then had that horrible, scary injury to his neck. At one point, they thought he was going to be paralyzed. So unfortunately, he had to retire early from football. But always a David Wilson fan of recent memory. I mean, you guys probably don't remember, but Gerard Evans was an absolute beast. I wish he would have stayed another year. He went to Air Force originally, transferred to JUCO, came in, won 10 games my freshman year. So freshman year of college, I mean, you're just starting to figure things out. You win 10 games. Wow, Justin Fuente's the savior. And not so much.
So can I ask you why Virginia Tech and not Virginia?
I don't even want to answer that question. I can't believe you even said this to me right now.
DP's a big Virginia guy, so you're gonna hear about it.
I know. I've already talked to him about that, but no, I don't want to talk about that school in Charlottesville. No, we don't support UVA on this on the water cooler. That is for sure. So Virginia Tech all the way. No. Southwest Virginia through and through.
It's just where you were born.
I was actually born in Richmond. Born in Richmond, Virginia. Applied to Virginia Tech. It's actually funny because I was choosing between Virginia Tech and Indiana. So between IU. So I could have been a Big Ten guy myself, but took my route to Southwest Virginia, Virginia Tech, and it was a blast. So ended up in Lincoln though.
Yeah,
so ended up right here. Right.
That's the next question. Why Lincoln?
Okay, Kelsey, she's just absolutely coming at me. Remember when Virginia Tech lost to Kansas in the Orange Bowl? Yes,
that was a great moment. Hey,
I do remember that.
Still, the Orange Bowl. It's good to get there.
But yeah, Lincoln. So graduated college December of last year. So recent college graduate. Took 4.5 years to get it done. Then applied to basically every news station I could find. So I had a look. So I had an offer from Terre Haute, Indiana, and Lincoln, Nebraska. And I said, you know what? I'm trying to find some good corn, some good beef. Send me to Lincoln, Nebraska. So ended up here again, morning show on 10-11. So if you're ever up that early, 5 to 7. So I'm on the morning show 10-11. Luckily, I got to know you guys. So here too. But yeah, that's basically how I ended up in Lincoln. So been here almost a year.
Yeah.
March. It'll be a year.
Cleveland Mike says he demands one ACC segment a week. He graduated class of 2013 from Louisville.
Maybe we can do that.
We'll at least lean on you for some ACC talk. That's
we got you, Cleveland Mike. We got you.
How about your favorite Husker of all time, football or basketball, from afar? Or you could just do a current one, or one that you covered the last year. You can't think of one growing
Cam
up.
Taylor-Britt, honestly. Yeah. I had this discussion. I don't remember what I was saying on Twitter. I said, is Cam Taylor-Britt going to be the best? I thought that out of all the Huskers that are going to the draft, I mean, I know it's Austin Allen, JoJo Doman,
Cam Jurgens.
And then Cam Taylor-Britt. I think he'll be the best. I really do. I think out of this class, I mean, I think he's got the size, he's got the speed. I don't know what position they're going to put him at. I know that he was talking about maybe going to safety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the best decision for him. I mean, it probably depends on what he does at the combine, and I'm assuming coaches will evaluate from there. But I'm a big fan of Cam Taylor-Britt. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it was fun to see those guys too in action over the weekend.
It was.
Hey man, JoJo Austin had his bowl game earlier. So it was kind of cool. How about your favorite pro teams?
So Colts. So my entire family's from Indiana, right outside of Indianapolis. Okay. So Colts and Pacers fan. Unfortunately, the Pacers are terrible this year, and the Colts have Carson Wentz. So Lord only knows what's going to happen.
Hey, Jonathan Taylor, though.
Best running back in the NFL. But again, Carson Wentz. That's the problem, right? Is Carson Wentz, you'll see him throw 3 touchdowns against the Buccaneers, who are arguably the best team in football, but then he'll throw left hand in his own end zone to throw a pick 6. So Lord only knows what you get with him. Virginia Tech, obviously, and then Blackhawks for hockey.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You're kind of all over the place there.
I
do
a
too.
little bit.
I do too.
A little bit. So I'm Indiana through and through, but then I was born in Rockford, Illinois. So
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I got to pick a hockey team. Might as well pick the Blackhawks, and just kind of stuck with it. But that we're rolling with that. So
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place too. I don't really have family connections anywhere outside of here, and some family moved out to California, but
Right.
they don't not big sports fans. So I've got I'm mostly a Celtics and Red Sox fan.
Okay.
And then for football, the Arizona Cardinals, which by the way, Kyler Murray has stopped following. He's like taking all his Cardinals pictures down from his social media. He stopped following the Cardinals. I don't know where this came from.
I haven't
heard it. Is he just going to go play baseball with the A's now?
I mean that's funny that you say that, because I mean at the time it was kind of a discussion. Maybe he'll do both.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just in the Pro Bowl last night. There was no indication there was any problems with me or between them. I mean, and if there is, he's the guy that you bow down to, like Kingsbury.
And maybe that's the thing is I think the first to go would be Kingsbury, rightfully so.
How about your favorite spot to eat in Lincoln? Have you found a spot yet?
Somewhere in the Haymarket, probably. Maybe Laszlo's. Went to Laszlo's
that's
last
a good one,
weekend. Just in general, I mean, man, like I tell you what, I think it's an East Coast bias thing that when you hear Nebraska, it's like, okay, there's corn fields, there's not really too much to do, but
everybody
I came to Lincoln.
That, yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And I came to Lincoln. It's an incredible city, like a little city, man. I mean, like I've been to the Haymarket more times than I can count now. And it's such a cool vibe. I mean, Lincoln is honestly like college town. Absolutely loved it. So I honestly, from an outside perspective, I have nothing but good things to say about Lincoln. I really, and this is truthfully, this is not me pandering to the listeners. Like I genuinely, since I've gotten here, have absolutely loved it.
What do you think about the potholes from time to time?
Yeah,
you're mad about the
gets a little
potholes.
bit frustrating. And for some reason, why I feel like I'm always taking a U-turn around here.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. There's just a median everywhere, and I don't know if it's in Virginia. We don't have medians, so we don't have to worry about it. I feel like I'm making a U-turn every single day, so that's a little bit frustrating. But other than that,
there's always a little bit different driving habits around. Yeah.
Right.
How about your crowning athletic achievement?
That's a good question. So I played baseball and football in high school.
Nice.
I was much better at baseball than I was football.
Bat cleanup?
I actually bat third.
Oh, there you
so
go.
Close to it. Yeah. So I'm a bigger dude. But it's funny because I played 6A football in Virginia. So it's a little bit different tiers, but that's basically the highest that you can go. Okay. So I mean, it was legitimate football. I mean, we played against guys, Cleveland Farrell, Jordan Williams that played for Clemson. I mean, we just played all kinds of.
There's a lot of talent.
I mean, there's so much talent coming out of Virginia. So I had 4 tackles in one game. That's probably football crowning achievement. I don't even know, man. I mean,
had some dingers. You get some homers.
Yeah, I got some homers here and there. I got into a few of them because I'm a pretty big. I'm about 6'1", 220. So I got into a few.
Were
of
you
them,
deep into liability or what?
No. See, I was a catcher. I was
okay.
But my biggest downfall when it came to baseball, I can't hit a curveball.
Oh, okay.
You could throw a fastball. But you could have someone throw a 95 throwing gas, and I'll be good to go. I'll crank by. You throw a curveball, I just look like a fool up there. So it's not ideal. But yeah, so baseball and football. And I would say, I don't know, 4 tackles in the game, hit a few home runs, but it was fun. But unfortunately, then I decided to just be a regular college kid and party. So
yeah, well, you didn't
Virginia Tech, right?
You didn't have too many scholarship offers, though.
No. Fairness to me, I did not have any scholarship.
Yeah. I mean, so that usually makes the
radio,
decision for you,
right?
Right?
We can talk about it, which is it's more fun anyway.
So those are better than mine. I didn't play any sports in high school. Okay. So they're better than mine.
Yeah.
How about your just football thoughts overall? You've been here now through one year of football. What did you think about this insane last season?
So I'll go ahead and say this. So I've gone on my station in Blacksburg a couple times since, and they know that I've been pandering to the Huskers, and I'll joke sometimes and say they're the best 3-9 football team of all time. But I genuinely believe that. I mean,
right up there.
I'm at the point now, and I'm kind of scared to say this, but I'll go ahead and say it, and we'll see what people react to it. I think Nebraska this season is a 10-win football team.
Wow.
I do. And that's an outside perspective. I think Casey Thompson was a great addition in the transfer portal. I'm assuming he'll be the starter. Nebraska, I mean, was active in the transfer portal. You have guys coming back. I think Scott Frost is still a good coach. I know in Lincoln there's some people that won't agree with me and say he hasn't reached expectations, but you look at last season, right? I mean, if you take those 1-score games and you flip every single outcome, Nebraska's in the playoff. And that's the thing, right? I mean, you look at them playing against Ohio State, Michigan State. They're right there every game. I think Nebraska's a good football team. And I think one of these days, something is going to happen. I don't know if it's a culture shock. I don't know if it's just something that happens in the locker room. I don't know if it's one of these transfers that comes in. Something is going to happen. Nebraska wins 10 games. I'm telling you right now, you can hold me to it too. Don't save it. Don't save it. And then when they win 6 games and then you play it.
Oh, yeah.
I think Nebraska is a 10-win football.
Well, now that you said it, that's what we're going to use all offseason.
Yeah, there we go. No,
I thought that I would have to artificially pump Kool-Aid into everybody, but
I'll pump
you're the Kool-Aid guy.
Let me do it.
All
I'm
right.
okay with it.
Fair enough. I mean, I think we're all open for 6 or 7, but 10, yeah, absolutely. How about this? Have you ever been in a fist fight?
I have.
Have you? What
I have.
How did that go?
It was just college was a fun time. I'll just say college was a fun time.
Yeah.
Do it. A little bit of liquid courage leads you to do things.
Have you been in a few fist fights?
No,
just one.
No,
okay.
But, we've matured a little bit now.
Sometimes did you end up being friends with the guy?
I did. It was one of my best friends.
What usually happens,
right?
yeah.
No, it wasn't even a guy. I wasn't even mad at him. I mean, it's just you get a little liquid courage when your buddy starts talking trash. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
All right, we got a few more questions as we'll round out the show. Learn more about our new co-host Nathan Brennan as we round out the show here on the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Culligan Water. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey, Ticket listeners, it's Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and I for Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. talking Stars hockey and more. Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Breezy but very mild here for our Monday. We'll top out near 60. Northwest winds will be around 15 to 20. Plenty of sunshine, then mainly clear tonight. The low dropping down to around 32. A few passing clouds tomorrow, windier, as northwest winds could gust over 30 with a high of 58. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is all about the good and creating more of it. More drive-through celebrations, more weekend traditions, more family dinners and lunches, more car picnics and road trips, more desserts, maybe more second desserts. More celebrating being together as much as we can. There's always room for more good and more Freddy's. Keep the good going with a taste that brings you back.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Eric Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy and healthy Valentine's Day celebration. There are a lot of daily battles that everyone faces, and in all of our busy lives, it's vital to make sure your significant other is a top priority. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Culligan of Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Running out the Ticket Water Cooler here on a Monday as we're getting to know new co-host Nathan Brennan. We can also you can listen and see him. It's a different medium on television on 10/11 in the morning. So you can get more of his content than almost anybody.
Wherever, throughout the entire day.
Yes, that's right.
You want to see me, you want to listen to me, it's fine.
You should just have a live stream of you walking around the rest of the day.
I'll just Instagram live all day. see what I do.
Nick and Rico are working on a TikTok account. I'm not going to say it. Oh, okay. Nick wants to promote it here even. What's your new TikTok account?
Okay, so me and Rico have created a TikTok. People might think it's stupid, but we're gonna try it out.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that it's dead by Thursday.
Yes.
There is a chance, and we have fully embraced that idea that it could be dead in the next 2 days. But go follow. It's Rick and Nico on Twitter. Nobody knows it's us.
On Twitter or on TikTok?
Excuse me, on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's Rick and Nico. Nobody knows.
And you already have
us.
3 followers, right?
We do have 3 followers, and one of them does not work at the station.
Do you have any content as of yet?
Not quite. We're getting there. Tomorrow is going to be our first content day. So if you if you guys, when you guys arrive, if you see the door closed and us in there, that's what we're doing. We're making content for TikTok.
All right.
Leave you guys be.
Doors closed and content.
Yeah,
for the internet.
This
is
easy, Buck.
This is what it is.
This is the first step into becoming content creators, as they call them.
Right.
Which is the new big wave of jobs and
you're going to be very
careers.
famous eventually.
Yeah, so we're looking towards 1.5 million followers and making some significant money off of this.
You guys out there, you can be one of the first ones. Catch this wave, Rick and Nico.
Well, that's that, and maybe we'll go live on TikTok during our shows.
Oh yeah,
and that's just another streaming service.
There you go. Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah. I just came up with that. I haven't talked that over with my co-host, but I'm sure.
Yeah, you should
I'm sure that he would be okay with that.
You big TikTok guy, Nate?
I have TikTok, but unless people send me a TikTok, I won't.
Do you follow Rick and Nico?
I'm about to.
I hope
That's
so.
the thing is, I don't even know what my follow counts for anything. I can't even remember the last time I went on TikTok.
See, on my personal account, I used to do TikToks with somebody else that worked here. And before, but now since that person left, I don't do it anymore.
Right.
So I'm
you don't get on TikTok
I'm
anymore?
TikTokless.
I love TikTok. I'm always scrolling through there if I have nothing to do for a few minutes.
Wait.
And my wife
we got another follower. We're up
People are listening.
People are here. Rick and Nico on TikTok. Brian, appreciate you following us.
Thank you, Brian.
Shout out to Jacob Bigelow as well. He followed us.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah,
off and running.
Yeah, we're off and running. We're excited. So people are starting to like you, Nathan.
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, we've got pretty much, for the most part, optimism on the text line.
Good.
But we've also seen some Virginia Tech slander, which I don't know how
That's
I feel about that. I mean, people coming at me. I'm like, I didn't.
Yeah.
The worst part is I haven't even said anything. I said Virginia Tech is a recovering football program. They're not good anymore.
What are your thoughts on Tyrod Taylor? Is that your guys' like guy?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick is, yeah. That's
Michael
obvious.
Vick,
That's
our
true.
guy.
Yeah.
So who was robbed of the Heisman and the MVP, but I don't even need to get into that right
Yeah.
now. But no,
Yeah.
Tyrod's up there as well. So he obviously beat Nebraska. So
I can't see the text line right now. Has anybody pushed back on Rick and Nico talk?
No, not yet.
Good.
Brian is also. He said he gave you guys a follow.
Appreciate
so,
you, Brian. Yeah.
Shut up, Brian.
And here's the thing is when we make content, there might be a chance that you want to unfollow us. I understand.
That's
So-
not what you're supposed to say.
Well, it's just being
Push through.
transparent. It's
Push
being
through.
transparent.
That's not the mood. To
I
get, you
completely
got to get to
understand.
1.5 million. That's the goal.
That's right. 1.5 mil. Set the goals lofty. Set the lofty goals.
Do you have any blind spots, Nate, as far as social media? Or you on? You got them all pretty well.
I've got all. I mean, I'm not on TikTok. Very rarely on Instagram. Twitter's my main medium. I mean, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it might be a generational thing, but I feel like people our age.
Twitter is
probably on
big. Twitter is getting big. Like in college, especially like with my buddies and stuff. If they're not on Twitter, they're missing out on
Especially for
everything.
sports. I mean, for the most part, that's how I get all my sports.
Yeah, live
content.
tweeting.
I mean,
Yeah.
live tweeting. I mean,
Isn't that
just
weird?
Recaps. Yeah.
Because like when I was 13, so 7 years ago, yikes, 7 years ago, it was like I'd go to the ESPN app.
Yeah.
And
Where you go to your local television station.
Yes, absolutely, of course. Hey,
Listen-
you're working for the
listen to the
station.
radio.
You're working for the station right now. That's who you promote. No, I'm kidding. No. So yeah, that's interesting though. ESPN used to be much easier to navigate as well. The ESPN app.
You think it's partially because the ESPN app has fallen off?
It's definitely fallen off. ESPN app is crappy now. Used to be so much easier to navigate.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've got a blind spot for Instagram. For some reason, I never really got into it. I have one, but I don't go on there.
Do you guys have Facebook?
I do have Facebook. I have two Facebooks.
You have two?
Really?
Oh yeah,
I have two
professional
Facebooks.
page.
I had a professional page, and then I got, but my personal one I never posted.
Yeah.
See,
I never use it.
I on my personal page, I never post on it, but people tag me. So like if you see posts of Nick, it's because they tag me, not because I post. So that's how I stay in touch with family.
By the time,
absolutely.
I think
by-
family's the
yeah.
Facebook.
By the time you got to Facebook, it was not cool to have a Facebook, right?
I don't know. I remember signing up for one right when I.
yeah.
Like at a certain
now it's
point,
cool
the
again,
parents
though.
were on Facebook,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
right.
you don't want to be on
Right.
Facebook.
I don't know. See, like I got Facebook the day I turned 13 because I was one of those kids. I was
You
like,
have to be
I
18
can-
to get a Facebook.
Not back then. I hope not back then because I got one.
Well,
when I
no,
was
you
13.
wouldn't be the first or the last one to say that you're not, a different age there.
Of course. Yeah. So okay, I'll get out of the water cooler's hair. Sorry, I know.
Oh,
this-
oh no, yeah, we'd love to promote your TikTok.
I know this is part of the kind of the water cooler idea as well.
Oh
but,
yeah, you're always
yeah,
welcome. To
Follow
water
Rick- I'm
cooler.
sure there'll be many times, but follow Rick and Nico on TikTok.
All right, thanks for the promotion.
1.5 mil.
1.5 million is the goal. I'm not sure if they'll get there, but let's get a few more questions before we get out of
All right,
here
let's
for
do it.
Nate. How about, are you a crypto bro? You got some crypto cash?
I
there?
actually did at one point because I mean there was a point where you could only gamble if you used cryptocurrency. I mean using the bootleg
Oh, yeah.
websites, but luckily the state of Virginia gambling is legal, so you
Oh,
can
there you
gamble
go.
on sports, but not so much here. But I used to be not so much anymore.
Are you single?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not single.
not,
So you
no.
don't have any good Tinder stories for us?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
all right,
I'm
well.
not single. Actually, my girlfriend's on the Nebraska softball team. Too,
Oh, very
so
cool.
Go Huskers.
Yeah,
Go,
go
there'll be
Huskers.
plenty of softball.
So have you been to a few games?
I haven't been
Not
because
yet?
when I came, it wasn't softball season.
Right, sure.
Or it was kind of like the back end, but I've been to a couple baseball games. But you'll see me at plenty of softball games.
Yeah, I want to go to a
Plenty.
softball game
You're
too.
more than welcome.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
How about a drinker? You drink sometimes?
Yeah.
What's your
so,
drink of choice?
So in Virginia, we drink Miller Lite. I know
Okay.
the thing is Busch Light here, which I
Yeah.
will never understand. And I know people are probably, so this is when the text line is going to blow up or we hate this kid. No, Busch Light, I don't know. I'm a Miller guy.
That's fair,
That
yeah.
or vodka water when you're trying to cut down a little.
Yeah, there you
Slim
go.
down a little, lose a couple LBs, right?
How about your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? My goodness. You want to know a secret?
Yeah,
I haven't seen a Marvel movie.
you're not into it.
So I apologize. I don't know. Spider-Man's pretty cool, but I haven't seen the new one, so I guess I
Yeah.
can't say. I don't know.
I haven't seen that one
Spider-Man,
either.
Superman, strong.
Yeah.
Superman. I'll say Superman.
What's your hobby then? Like, what's your biggest like hobby, I suppose, outside
I'd
of
say working
sports
out,
and
working
working?
out. I know it's like, oh,
Working
the
out,
pro,
yeah.
workout. No, I mean, like in between shifts, I got off this morning, went to the gym, came here. So, do you want to guess? I'll tell you this. This will be the last bro thing that I say on this. I swear, but I have to do a little bit of a brag. I got my max bench press up to 335.
Oh my goodness!
So,
you know,
So we'll
one
get
time
there.
I almost benched. The one time that I tried to bench over 200 pounds, my spotter drooled on me.
Did you drop it?
It didn't. No, it just didn't help. You know, so like I lost concentration, and I never
So you
really
needed
tried
the
again.
spot. You needed the spot.
So that was my crowning achievement there. How about your best and worst broadcasting moments?
Ooh, my best. I don't even know. I'd let the listeners. So I'll just do again another plug. But again, I know people don't want to hear about 1011 on this. Nathan Brennan, 1011 now. You can find all of my content. Done some cool Nebraska stories about the local community. Worst, I don't know. I'll have someone here. I'll have someone here because I'll say something about Nebraska that people won't like from the outside perspective. But also, let me plug my Twitter handle right here. Brian was asking. It's Nathan B1011, or again on Facebook, Nathan Brennan 1011 now. But we'll have a lot more sports content now.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. We're off and running with our new co-host Nathan Brennan. Very excited to have you as a part of the team here on the Ticket Water Cooler and as well as on the block, which will be the next show coming up here in just a few minutes. Strick will join us. Eric Strickland, Husker Hall of Famer, longtime NBA vet. We'll jump back into some more of this larger picture discussion for the Nebraska basketball team, as well as Steve Sipple as well will join us at 4:25. So that's what you got to look forward to in the next hour of On the Block. For the Ticket Water Cooler, brought to you by Culligan's. Thank you, and so long.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And